back to my channel. I'm Myrah, and today I would like to have a little chat. So, grab a beverage, grab your vape, and let's talk for a second. Delicious. You'll have to forgive me, I have a bit of a cold today. One of my mom's 8 grandchildren was a little bit sniffly at the birthday party last weekend, and of course, I didn't let that bother me. It's bothering me now. Today, what I'd like to talk to you about is just a little bit about my channel and the direction it's going to be taking, and also a little bit about my vaping journey so far. The internet is vast, and there's a lot of research, a lot of videos, a lot of reviews, a lot of people talking about vaping. But from my experience, I haven't seen any channels geared specifically towards new vapors. So, in collaboration with my local vape shop, which just opened up last month, Evan's Vape Shop, in the lovely town of Rockingham, North Carolina, I will be presenting you with a guide to vaping for beginners. I don't want to call it like beginners vaping or vaping 101. You guys leave me some comments in the bottom as to what I should call it. Also, in collaboration with my vape shop, we will be doing giveaways. So the first 100 subscribers on my channel, we will be doing a giveaway, and also the first 50 likes on his Facebook page, Evan's Vape Shop, we will be doing another giveaway. So my series basically is going to be for people who are just starting out with vaping, or people who are wondering about vaping. They've heard about it, but they're not really sure what it is. So what we're going to be doing is breaking down the information into little videos, step by step, very, very basic. And the first video is going to be something along the lines of, so what is vaping? And we're going to talk about the ways vaping is different from smoking, exactly how vaping works, why I would recommend vaping as an alternative to people who are smoking, and also debunking some of the myths, because I have heard from a lot of my family members, in fact, rather than asking me about vaping, they say silly things like, oh my gosh, did you know that has formaldehyde in it? And oh, if you vape at high wattages, you can get cancer. So we're going to be talking about a lot of those things. So far in my vaping journey, I'd like to tell you guys about a few things that I wish I would have done differently from the beginning. Hopefully that everybody can learn from some of my mistakes. Vaping in and of itself is basically trial and error. Everybody's different, everybody has different experiences, and everybody prefers things to be a little bit different, you know, suited to their own personal needs. And I feel like if I can tell you guys about some of the mistakes that I've made, or even just things I would have done differently in the beginning, maybe you guys can have a better experience and enjoy your vaping journey from day one. The first thing that I would like to talk to you guys about is to find a local vape shop. The first vape shop I went into was in a totally different state from where I live. I hadn't really done much research, and I really wish I would have, because I bought the first thing they pushed at me, and I wound up paying quite a bit more for it than I would have in my local vape shop, and I ultimately wasn't happy with the products that I received. There's a puppy. I really hope he doesn't start screaming, because I don't know how to edit these videos and cut things out. So, find a local vape shop. Find several local vape shops. Check them out. The people who work there should be knowledgeable. They should be friendly. They should offer you options, answer all your questions, give you some basic advice. My first setup was an Ego 2, which I still love my Ego 2. However, they didn't even tell me how to turn it on, anything about maintenance. They also did not tell me that the e-juice I purchased was a cinnamon flavor, and I'm obsessed with it. I will be doing a review on it. They didn't tell me that I had to be in a glass tank. They just sold me the tank and never mentioned anything about it. So, kind of melted my tank, and blew out the coils in the next 2 tanks that I purchased from them before going to another vape shop, who immediately, upon looking at my tank, said, oh, you have a cinnamon liquid. You're not supposed to have that in a plastic tank. And thankfully they replaced my tanks for me and got me started on the right path. And That is why I am thoroughly obsessed with my new vape shop, owned and operated by one person. He is friendly, he is knowledgeable, he will talk, he will give you information, he will give you tips and tricks. And he's pretty excited about me doing reviews and a beginning series, and he's very excited about working with me because in his personal opinion, and mine as well, people who vape should be getting the word out there. They should be available to other vapors. They should be able to answer questions and offer advice to people who simply don't know what they're doing or are interested in it. So I'm really excited to be doing that. And I cannot wait to get started. I hope you guys all subscribe and stick around and watch my new beginning series. Another thing that I wish I had done differently is in my personal vaping journey is started at a different nicotine level. The first vape shop that I went to, they asked me, how many packs of cigarettes a day I smoked, and I was about 2 packs a day, so they immediately gave me an 18 milligram juice. Now, I will be doing a video on your local vape shop, what to expect when you go to a vape shop, what questions to ask, vaping etiquette, that type of stuff. And they told me that since I was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, I should start out with 18 milligrams of nicotine. And in the 5 minutes I was in the shop, I didn't really get a chance to sample different nicotine levels. But after 2 days of vaping on 18 milligrams of nicotine, I knew right away that was way too much. So I went back and I got another bottle of 12 milligrams, and after 5 days I had the horrible sore throat, and I almost gave up on vaping. So when I went to my new vape shop, he suggested, Tony, the owner, I always talk to the owner when I go in, he's awesome. The owner suggested that in his experience, it's been more productive to start at a very low milligram of nicotine and work your way up. And the reason being is because you can adjust the level of nicotine in your personal vaporizer. If you have a variable voltage or a variable wattage device, which I will be talking about, if you crank up the heat on that thing, you get more nicotine. Also, if you vape more often than you smoked, which I find most people that I've talked to do that because obviously the flavors are amazing and there's so many to choose from. If you vape more often than you smoke, lower levels of nicotine are going to be tolerated even better. So I wish that I would have sampled some different nicotine levels. I wish that I would have taken some time to sit there and vape on a few and see how that was going to affect me. I'm now vaping at 6 milligrams of nicotine, and I'm getting into dripping. And once I start reviewing dripping lines and such, I'm going to be even lower at 3 milligrams of nicotine. And I feel like 3 milligrams of nicotine is a really great place for me. I'm chain vaping. I love to vape. Let's vape. Delicious. And I just enjoy actually vaping. It's more about the act of vaping and the flavors for me at this point than it even is about the nicotine replacement. And I've only been vaping for about a month, guys. So that is one of my things I wish I would have done differently. Another thing I wish I would have done differently was watch some reviews on YouTube or get on the internet and check out the prices. I highly recommend anybody who's thinking about vaping or who is interested in vaping to do a lot of research, not just from one person, because one person might try to sell you on certain products or certain juices or certain places, and they may not necessarily be for you. For instance, if I had known that a variable voltage or variable wattage device was available to me when I first purchased my beginning setup, I would have gone with one of those. And I was not even told. I even asked. They had some variable voltage Ego style devices from Inikin, which I will be talking about in my reviews later. And I asked about them, and the person at the vape shop told me, oh, that's not for you. That's for later on, in your vaping journey. And I disagree. Because I immediately, after 2 weeks of vaping, went and got a variable voltage device. I feel like they are a really great place for beginners to start with, and of course we'll be going over all the different setups available to beginners in my series. But, I mean, I'm not going to say that it was a waste of money on my Ego because I love my Ego. The battery lasts forever. It's a great little puffer, a little engine that could. That thing will put out some power and some great vapor as well. But I have found, after just 2 days of borrowing my mom's MVP, that I really enjoy the variable voltage. Different juices taste differently at different voltages. And as I said before, if you crank up the wattage on your device, you're going to get more nicotine than if you just keep it at a very steady level. So that's another thing we're going to be discussing. So I guess that tip for what I would have done differently is to check out the different batteries they have in the vape shops before you buy one. Try to find one that you feel like is going to suit your needs. Ask lots and lots and lots of questions. Along with checking out different batteries, I would recommend checking out different tanks. Can you guys see this? I can't see anything. This is my MVP2. And this is the Innokin iClear 16 tank. Now, while I have been using these tanks for a couple of weeks, I recently got a brand new one. And the reason I bought a different style of tank is that I've been having some problems with these. They tend to leak. The coils tend to burn out very quickly. And I think the reason for that is because it is a top coil, so the wicks hang down from the top. And we'll get into that, the different types of tanks and the different ways that they work. But had I known that there were a difference between these tanks, which they told me were beginner tanks, and if they had explained the differences between bottom coil cartomizers or dripping atomizers or top coil tanks, I would have definitely made a different choice. Once again, I wasn't offered any options. I was just told this is the beginner set, this is how much it costs, and definitely would recommend to new people to do your research. And this is going to be a fantastic channel to do some research. So hopefully on Tuesday, I will have my very first video in my beginning vaping series. So you guys leave me some comments down below. Let me know some pretty cool ideas what you would like for me to call my vaping series. And leave me any tips at all, any comments, questions, things that you would like for me to talk about. That would be fantastic. I've already gotten so many questions and so many ideas of videos, things to do on my channel, and I would really like to be able to answer anyone's questions about anything they have going on. And the owner of the vape shop is also going to be available to answer questions at any time. We're going to be doing a live viewing at some point, and he's really excited. I'm really excited. We're looking for new ways to get involved in the community. So if you guys have any tips or ideas about that, go on ahead and let me know. And otherwise, stay tuned. Can't wait for my series to come out. I will be starting uploading my juice reviews, hopefully the middle or end of next week. I've already got quite a few of them lined up. Super excited about that. And so you guys make sure to subscribe to my channel. Check out Evan's Vape Shop on Facebook, and stay tuned for some free giveaways. Cheers!